Okay, welcome back to the APTA's 5th Grand Prix Tour event. We're back to the action here at the Short Hills Invitational, where we're bringing you another round of 16 match between the team of Brian Compton and Scott Kahler against Marco Grangeiro and George Wilkinson. And Compton and Kahler just won the first set, Patty, 6-2. In fact, Compton and Kahler, they're unseeded in this event, but they haven't lost as a team this year. They won Cleveland earlier, as you mentioned before, and then they won the Midwesterns. So great playing from them. They play really solid. So why don't you just do a quick go around of the players on the court, Patty?
Sure, in the right-hand corner with the red headband directing traffic is George Wilkinson. He's paired up here with Marco Grangeiro. Marco's got that navy blue hat. On the far side in the light blue jacket in the deuce court is Scott Kahler, and he's playing with Brian Compton. George Wilkinson to serve. Wilkinson Grangeiro, currently number 9 in the country. But they are currently losing to number 15 in the country, Compton Kahler. Compton Kahler just have 2 tournaments under their belt, but 2 wins and a first set win here. We've seen them play a little bit. I saw them play a flawless match or 2 in Cincinnati, Brad. They are a team on the rise.
Yeah, it's a very tough team. Super solid. They volley great. Compton's got offense off both sides, forehand and backhand. Backhand's probably a little better, but the forehand, he can hit it. And Kahler's got an incredible high to low forehand, but he's an amazing volleyer. So what we've seen out of Compton and Kahler is they're super solid. They give you nothing when they're at the net. So they're at the net, they keep the ball deep, and they bait you into driving, and they close in as you drive it, and they hit really good volleys back. And in the backcourt, they lob, keep you off the net until they get you off the net, and then they drive it at you, through you, and come in with some quick forays to the net. So they play just really good textbook paddle. You won't see spin out overheads out of them, or cutting shots, or super fast play. You'll just find one good shot after another and one good choice after another.
40 love.
Now he missed that one, but it wasn't. He maybe overhit it. Probably should have gone for a roller, but. And then Grangeiro and Wilkinson, from what I've seen in the match, Patty, is they just haven't reached their stride, and they're hitting a lot of not smart shots, giving Kahler a dunk overhead or pushes. All right, so we got a few scores in from Will, and basically Rose and Rose just thumping Karana and Wagner 6-2, 6-love. So they're going to move on to face the winners of our last match, Doyen and Morneau. And then Broderick and Minerni against Gart Nolan are 2-all in that second set, but Broderick and Minerni won the first set.
They win the first game, second set.
So Brian Compton, who's taken the ball, is about to serve. Brian's from Chicago, Illinois. Scott Kahler is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Scott is Grangeiro returning serve. He's a little bit more known as a finesse type of player, Brad, I would say, than George.
Yeah, he can rip the forehand, Grangeiro, but he does it only from spot times. He actually really can hit it incredibly hard, and he does that from time to time. But a lot of times he's looking to move the ball around. His real thing is he loves to hit offensive volleys and come forward. But he does have a good forehand when he pulls it out, but it can be spotty. He can miss it some. But this was a team, Grangeiro and Wilkinson, that was really sort of knocking on the door up at the top. And since they've been back, they haven't quite found that form yet. Again, surprising miss there from Compton. I would say Compton and Kahler give you less than the other teams I've seen out there this year.
Fewer mistakes.
Fewer mistakes, they give you less looks. You know, when the other team's in the backcourt, they give them less looks. They keep the ball deep and they're right on the net. And when they're in the backcourt, they just give you less opportunities to put pressure on them. You know, and they make fewer return errors and fewer drive errors.
seems like a lot of these guys, I think about Johan and how he's all over the court, and he'll almost bait his opponents into hitting shots. Kahler and Compton don't play that way at all. They're just never going to give the guy, the ball of life look.
Right. But then you saw, like in the finals of, the Midwesterns where they beat Araya and Le Pavera, Le Pavera did not have his best match out there, but Araya, trying to hit the ball hard, trying to make all this action happen, but all it did in the long run was actually fed into Compton and Kahler. Compton was able to get a lot of drives, and they were basically putting it away. There's a switch to the Kahler forehand high. I don't understand that play.
Right, that's Kahler's most offensive shot, that high bouncing ball that we've seen a lot coming out of the deuce court, and most guys don't give him that shot anymore. He doesn't really hurt teams anyplace else from the baseline, so most of them don't feed him that.
He's been that's a great read from Wilkinson. He sees that Compton's off the net, letting the ball drop, not closing back in. But I think that's what Compton and Kahler do to you. They hit so many solid shots, they give you less overall, that eventually you just do something that goes into their wheelhouse. You have to play very disciplined. Now, you might be able to get over on them through offense, but you have to have some discipline too.
Wilkinson's the director of rackets at the Nursing Island Club in New York, and Grangeiro is the director of rackets up at North Jersey and Tenafly at Knickerbocker Country Club.
Marco Grangeiro, soon to be a dad as well. Baby on the way. Oh, he gets the look, and he nets it. But you see how the backcourt team, for all the viewers out there, hits that lob cross court, to a space in the court, and then they move over and into position, knowing they can get a look on the next ball. He just missed it.
Brad, we're going to see a lot of dignitaries this weekend. The first one just walked in, Dave Chelson.
Wow.
With his famous horned hat.
I've heard a lot of words to describe Dave Jelson, and dignitary, that's the first time, I think, for that one.
It's like Morneau. I have a lot of energy early in the morning on live stream, Brad. Later in the day, I'm not so free-flowing with my generous comments.
You only have like 20 for the day, and
20 for the day.
Up.
I only get to use them once.
Oh, there's cut. Nice get from Kahler. It's a good overhead mix here from Wilkinson and Grangeiro. You'll see that from Kahler every now and then. When Compton loads up to drive, Kahler in the light blue will move in. He's confident Compton's going to get it low, and he'll look for a pop-up volley.
This is a great angle, the back of the players. That's Grangeiro who is hitting those
That's
overheads.
A good look. Yeah, they're going to bail. Smart. See, this is just a good, solid point, and there you go. See, they'll hit more of these dump overheads than almost any other team, Kahler and Compton. Just down the middle, long and deep. Down the middle, long and deep.
40-30.
Compton's been playing competitive on national level, Brad, maybe 2 years?
I think a little longer than that. But certainly
at a high
I've been on the
level.
map, in the last 2 years, yeah.
And I think he's ascended quickly because he gets to play with someone like a Scott Kahler, who's one of the most disciplined players out here on the tour, and just has a willingness to play, hundreds of shots within 1 point all the time. Never changes over the course of a tournament. And I think Compton's bought into that mentality. We'll just wait around and let the other team make more errors.
Yeah, Compton's looking to hit the ball, but he's not going to take a ball he shouldn't hit. I haven't seen them be more disciplined than any other team so far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can bring it. I love watching him play in the Midwesterns, and super nice guy. But I'm just saying he's got a lot of discipline and maturity for a guy who hasn't played a ton of high-level national ranking matches.
Yeah, this has been, this tournament here, I really have a look out for these guys. You got to put them as a scare. I mean, if they win this match, though, they're going to play, likely to play Broderick McNerney, who won the first set against Garden Nolan. But, the match isn't over yet either. There's going to be some next round matches in the quarterfinals that are really telling out here. Rose and Rose. There's another team on the top of the draw that I'm really looking to see how they do.
And that's one of the benefits to having this experimental format out here for the APTA. Looking at some ways
Oh, great shot. Stays in the volley, gets the let court drop winner. But there you go. So you got Compton and Kahler just lobbing. And then Wilkinson finally speeds up play with a hard roller at the crease, but it comes out and ends up with a drive opportunity for Kahler. And then, Wilkinson gets the point there, but it still was a good look for Kahler. That's what Compton Kahler do to you. They just keep plugging away till you give them a ball that they want to hit.
Brad, true or false? This is the 68th annual Platform Tennis Invitational hosted by the Short Hills Club.
The 68th. I'm going to go true on that one, Patty. You're not going to tell me how I did?
I want you to name the first winner. I'm looking it up to see if I can find the answer for you, Brad.
68 years ago. Oh my God, I'm just trying to do the math to figure out the year. So that's 1951.
1951.
All right. I have no idea. Maybe it's Steve Baird's father. I have no idea.
I was going to say someone named Baird.
Yeah, Steve Baird's father's always,
Mangan?
Yeah, it could be.
I'll get back to you on that.
Thanks for that, Patty.
I thought that they would list.
That's a smart drive and a great look again.
30,
but he's staying off the net, and Compton's smart enough to just recognize that Grangeiro's position is off the net, so he doesn't hit a hard drive. He hits a quick little roller, and then Kahler with the fast recognition up for the volley. Smart.
All.
All right, Grangeiro, Wilkinson. It's time for them to make a move here. 30-all, big point. Great return. And he gets it back screen and dying on the side. Well done. All right. Grangeiro takes a cut at this return. Oh, you can't net that break point. Tough.
Yeah, and Compton took off a little early there on Marco's return to serve.
Yep. Out. Surprise, Grangeiro usually either hits it hard or he lobs it. That sort of off-pace ball that you just miss, it almost looked like he was trying to put it in, and he still missed it. Well, a couple of faults helping out here.
Yeah, maybe he's just not feeling comfortable yet in this match, because you're right. That's kind of uncharacteristic swing speed for him.
That's 2 break point missed returns. It's not a commitment to the swing. It's like a halfway ball. If I were him, I'd just lob the next one if he gets it. I wouldn't even bother.
Right.
Look, get in the point.
Try to ride the Wilkinson forehand.
Look, we've all been there. We've all done that. Missed, but these moments, and it's easy from up here. but it's a surprising couple of misses. Wow, great quick backhand there.
Advantage Kahler.
I mean, great move from Compton, just misses. Now we'll see if he lobs this or just hauls off. I can't imagine he's going to hit a half-pace return here, but commit one way or the other. There it is. He lobs it back or just pushes it back.
Shout out to Lauren Mandel, APTA's Cracker Taps. I mean, she's an amazing staffer for APTA, plus an announcer, does a great job. She's going to be answering some of the questions in the chat room, so feel free to ask anything. Lauren Mandel will find out the answer, and I'm still waiting to see who the first winner of the Short Hills Invitational was, Lauren. So if you can figure that out, that'd be great.
All right, well, that was a good hold from Compton Kahler, but 2 missed returns on break points and 2 netted errors. You know, from Grangeiro, they're going to have to tighten it up. That was a good opportunity. Kahler gave him a couple of faults, a couple of good looks. I do love how Grangeiro, he stays positive all the time. He does have a good outlook. But there have been, great move there from Kahler anticipating the drive. And as soon as Wilkinson comes forward, Grangeiro's got to move to that middle, but he waited. And I think if he were in the middle, he could have had a shot at that. But nice play there from Kahler.
Tell you, Brad, one of the things we just saw right there with Compton Kahler, what I love about them as a team is how they can defend the net against offensive drives, in that they do play a traditional setup. They're really good at shifting. They stay out of each other's way. Backhand volleys rule. And they're able just to shut down some weapons here. And I think that's why they're undefeated on the year.
Those are all great points, Patty.
That's Marco Grangeiro hitting the overheads from the middle with the orange paddle. George Wilkinson to his right. Chicago's Brian Compton lobbing out of the ad court. And Pittsburgh's Scott Kahler out of the deuce court.
Good low overhead there from Grangeiro. He's going to hit that while he's off the net, and then you see Kahler getting ready for the move. That's the key. That's one of the key moves they'll use. Plays from the backcourt.
And you saw Compton's smooth two-handed backhand. Doesn't explode like a Mark Parsons backhand, but just rock solid. He hits it to make the guy move in and volley.
Well, they hit enough lobs. They basically keep you off the net. If you watch Grangeiro and Wilkinson, they're never on top of the net. You know, we saw in the match before where Dorian Minot playing Lubao DeRose, how Dorian Minot just stood on top of the net because there was no need not to, you know, because they're going to drive every ball, DeRose and Lubao. Oh, wow!
What a shot from Grangeiro.
That's a credible shot. He actually holds up his hand. I mean, he should be applauding himself, not saying sorry. That was an incredible get.
Sorry I got lucky and beat you.
You know, wasn't lucky at all. He put his paddle down. Pretty good shot. Yeah, but it's nice courtesy, I guess.
It's Jeff Kraft up in the umpire chair.
So what kind of, you know, what's the sun going to play out there, Patty? Think it's making a difference? I haven't seen a big difference, but I have seen Kahler sort of shield his eyes once or twice trying to hit the overheads, but I haven't seen any misplayed balls due to the sun.
No, a little confusion in the first match in the DeRose-Lubau match, tiny bit, but it doesn't even seem to be a factor for these guys. And all of these guys have the overhead where they really wait a long time and can let the ball drop below.
The sun level?
Yeah, the sun level.
Yep.
Compton's got a baseball cap on, which helps a little bit more than Kahler's warm hat.
I mean, it's been strange right now from Grangeiro and Wilkins. Every time they get, like, a good fortune, they give it back. Like there, you had Compton just make a loose volley error trying to volley behind. They make a good get in the point before, and then just a missed lob.
I think that's
Right
what
on the
paddle
line.
comes down to. So much of the time, it's just the difference in a match is someone's ability, a team's ability to really capitalize. Take advantage when they get a point and keep the run going.
And there you go. So we go from Grangeiro and Wilkinson having a couple of good opportunities to go up 3-1 in the games before to losing those 2 games, and now they're down 3-2. I'd swing. It can't help Grangeiro. Obviously, it doesn't help them, Patty, but mentally, it's got to be a little bit of a blow. Like, things aren't going right. Sometimes you feel things are going wrong. All right, so Garton. Oh, so the match is over, actually. Broderick McNerney wins 6-4, 6-3 against Garton Nolan. So they're going to move on against the winners of this match here, which right now looks to be Compton Kahler, unless things turn around for Grangeiro Wilkinson. But certainly not over yet. I'd rather see right now Wilkinson and Grangeiro taking a lot of balls off the screen. I'd rather see them take a few block lobs and get the ball up a little quicker.
Just maybe play some shorter hop quicker, take away all the time that Kahler and Compton have here to set up their overheads. They look very leisurely here in their court coverage.
Well, and it's they're just right there. They're not off balance at all. I mean, that's sort of what they do, but you can see him mixing up some more half-pace drives. Grangeiro Wilkinson drives designed to just sort of bring him back in, not necessarily to win the point. See if they can create a little movement in the backcourt team. Ah, great shot.
Wow.
He's pulling his leg there. There you see Wilkinson. He's had
not a good sign.
Yeah, but a lot of injury history out of a young guy, and last year he couldn't play at all. His legs, his hips. Definitely a little slower on that one. Nice drive there, though, off the hip of Kahler.
Yeah, that was a great spot on the return of serve for George.
15-30.
And that's the most important thing. You've got to pick your spots on the drives where you can break down the other guy who's a phenomenal volleyer. It just seems like Grangeiro and Wilkinson, being a longtime team, Kahler and Compton have a little advantage. They know all their shots, I think, out here. And you can see when they go on offense and kind of hit an attacking type of shot from the baseline. Kahler here, a lot of the time, just is stepping up and handling the volley.
Oh, yeah, no, Kahler's one of the best at closing off the net. Get back in there. That's good play. Nice blitz. I'm surprised Compton tried to volley that instead of bailing back. All right, break points here. That's huge for Grangeiro Wilkinson. Now, we have seen the break points in the past. They got to play these well. Here's where good teams tighten everything up. Play these big points really well. It's a great rip from Wilkinson. Then he gives him the high forehand. Oh!
Great hands.
Really good hands. Compton hitting a high roller.
A lot of chatter out there, Brad. I like that.
George Wilkinson yelling out the me's, calling out the overheads.
Nothing I like better than a partner calls out me.
You get nervous when they say you? Yours? I don't want it.
A fun shot from behind the court. See Wilkinson handling about 90% of the overheads here.
But
Grangeiro's staying out of the way to his right.
Compton Kahler just doing their thing. You know, it's playing it like it's every other point. They play each point the same. Never missing, keeping the lobs up, looking for the ball that they really can attack. When the guy's off the net, they'll keep going. And Wilkinson Grangeiro playing a tough point here. They're trying to give him nothing. They're trying to do it back to Compton Kahler. But what I've seen is eventually the team that cracks hasn't been Compton Kahler. You know, that'll overplay the shot first or try to make something happen first. It has not been Compton Kahler. They're just looking at them. They're just going to keep going. That's a good lob. We'll see a drive here. And a miss. That's it. That's it. They're waiting around for that one thing. You can see it develop at that time. And I'm not sure Grangeiro, I think, tried to hit a drop volley winner there. It was too tough a shot for that. Oh, it hit him in the shoulder, I heard? Okay.
I think he just got pegged high up, right?
Yep.
He had
No, that's what
no shot.
Guess I didn't see that. I missed that.
Well, I have glasses on, Brad. That's why I saw it.
Maybe I should get a pair. Can I borrow yours?
The day's coming, Brad.
And there you go again. They have 2 break points, and they play one good, and then the inexplicable error.
Advantage, Grangeiro.
This is the last of our round of 16 over here at the Short Hills Club. There's a whole bunch of other round of 16 matches being played. And soon we'll get some results. We'll see what the draw looks like pretty soon.
Advantage, Compton.
We need a solid return from Marco again here, right here.
Well, I just got some reports, actually, that Bostrom and Anderson lost to Durant and Mitchell, and Burris and Stojsavljevic won their first round match against Bobitsky and Lefebvre, and you know that it was tough wind gust and tough sun, really tough over at Beacon Hill. I heard some of the players were missing, and you know, you get some shadows over here at Short Hills, but Beacon Hills, it's a tough sun place, and you got a tough scene. So that was Anderson and Boston.
The sun always shines at Beacon Hill, Brad. That's why it's so bright.
It's so bright over there, where you spent many years
Many
coaching.
years. Great supportive membership, beautiful facility, a tad sunny in the morning.
So the conditions really making a difference over there. We haven't seen it here as much, but wind gusts makes it hard for the teams who want to hit offensive overheads and get the point moving in certain ways. Makes it more difficult.
All right, new ball coming out. Game, Compton Kahler. They lead 4 games to 2. Second set.
See, there's another chance for Grangeiro Wilkinson in a 15-40 game. And Patty, they just have made errors at the wrong time. And you see just Compton and Kahler it's always business as usual. Every point, you know, we say that people have certain strategies, certain ways. What I've seen out of Compton Kahler isn't a specific strategy like against certain teams. It's just a way of playing completely solidly all the time. So that, you know, and it's what I saw in Midwesterns too.
Not a lot can go wrong
Right.
the way they play.
So less goes wrong, and as a consequence, they win. And they take the drive at the right time. And it's not that they don't hit the ball. It's just he'll hit that, but he's going to hit a 3-quarter drive because he knows it's not the best opportunity he's going to get. And then they've softened you up with so many lobs that nobody's right there and ready to hit a cut winner or anything because the points lasted so long.
So Wilkinson Grangeiro down 6-2, down 4-2, Brad. One of them is going to have to become spectacular pretty fast here. I don't see either Grangeiro or Wilkinson really taking it up another notch. I haven't seen it yet. One of them is going to have to, otherwise this won't even go 3 sets, I don't think.
Well, I think you're right, Patty. I mean, Grangeiro, his offense is spot offense with the forehand. He can rip it, but Wilkinson's forehand does more of the damage. I mean, there are just too many errors here and there, and too many loose errors. I've seen a lot of loose errors out of Grangeiro, just lobs, I mean,
See right there, he kind of took a shot. Maybe George could have hit a little slash overhead. Marco pops it over, deuce corner, starts the chasing game. The more you throw the ball back and forth, Brad, as you know well, it kind of opens up the court in terms of what you can defend on the next shot. Sometimes it results in losing the net. Grangeiro and Wilkinson, they've had some decent results. Couple third-place finishes. Western New England's, Dwayne Hayden, Long Island Invitational men's, and the Philly Men's Open. They just haven't played at as high a level as a team, and Compton Kahler are just giving them nothing out here today.
Yeah, and you can hear the wind in the background in our earphone, our headsets here, Patty. I mean, it is gusting out there.
It's gusty up here in the pro shop in our broadcast booth.
There you see a rare moment of Compton Kahler getting in each other's way. That's good for Grangeiro Wilkinson. If they can just hang, sometimes they're not playing well enough yet, Grangeiro Wilkinson. And they've played every big point, and not played it as well as they could have. Missed returns, missed lobs. One time they played a long point, but then they keep giving it back like that. But if they can just hang around, maybe the tide turns. Lucky net cord here and there. So they need this game.
Just not feeling it, Brad.
Oh, and there you see Grangeiro. That's almost like he's trying to cut off a ball there on a 1 in 10 chance of getting a lucky offensive volley. To me, that's sort of like, things aren't going right. I'm just going to see if I get lucky here, and if I do, maybe things will start going right. Called out. Confirmed by the umpire.
That was
It
close.
was kind of a late, kind of like, I think it was out. Yeah, but it was confirmed by the umpire. So deuce. That's a rare lob miss from Compton.
He's allowed 1 in the match, Brad.
Oh, here you go. This is what hanging around does. You got 3 misses in this game. 1 miscommunication, missed lob there, and then a missed return. But hey, nobody's going to make them all. But the key is you capitalize when you get them. And this is where Grangeiro and Wilkinson haven't. They've had break points. They've had, in the last couple of games. But have not capitalized.
George has mastered saying you in this game, making it very clear early on. Grangeiro is going to handle the next shot.
see Compton and Kahler just wait again until they hit a little better lob, until they get somebody off the net, then you'll see the drive. Right, there it is, and there it is once again. Same point over and over again, perfectly done. Better lob, weaker overhead, then they attack. It's the, just a classic formula, Patty. It's really what kind of the game was for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Which will tell you that, because people talk about like how the game has changed or it's this and that, but the basics are the same, Patty.
No, I'm in a total agreement. The more it changes, the more actually some of the old strategies, fundamentals,
Great
you
shot
see
there.
still rise to the top of the game.
Well, there you see a rare thing from Compton. He took a drive with with Wilkinson right on top of the net, and he gets burned. But he hasn't been doing that, meaning he drove it at him, and then Wilkinson stuff volleys it back at him. He can't make the reflex. And it's one of the few times you've seen him do that. You'd have to say they make better choices overall through the course of the day, and that was one of the bad choices. And so it was a good game there for Grangeiro to Wilkinson. Like I said, they're hanging around. Compton and Kahler are giving him some spots here. A few faults, a couple of things. Grangeiro and Wilkinson just going to have to play well enough and tight enough.
Yeah,
to
kind
get in
of.
there.
That game lacked a little intensity, I felt, from Kahler and Compton. I still think they need to remain, looking for the opportunity. I feel like they can force the action when they want, and they can put pressure on their opponents with their drives if they want to.
I feel like, too, with Grangeiro and Wilkinson, especially more so with Wilkinson, I have to think he's back playing this year, though, that to me it looks like he's lost a half step. I feel like that ball before, it was about 5 balls ago, Compton hit one to Wilkinson's forehand. He would have cut it off and ripped the forehand. And now I feel like he can't quite get there. But I could be wrong. But it's just the way it looks to me. Oh, all right, it's a good look though. Compton let that ball drop.
You can see Grangeiro moving around. Oh, you
just gotta keep
that's
playing
a
a good
bummer.
point. But this is the Compton Kahler formula. You make a mistake after 100. Great lob over their heads. Now they gotta play the whole point all the way through to the end. Because Compton Kahler don't give it to you.
And Grangeiro makes that shot 1,999 times out of 2,000.
I've seen enough misses today to say where you're right. It's a surprising miss, but there have been a few surprising misses out here to the point where I'm a little less surprised,
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to tighten it up. Yeah, see, it's that ball there, that Wilkinson. If you tried to go to his forehand corner, he was ready. He would dart up, and he would thump it with a big forehand. Oh, nice close by Compton. Oh, and he catches him with the hard overhead. Smart play in transition. You see Compton moving back. He knows Wilkins is bailing off the net, and he doesn't have his feet underneath him that well, and he tags him. Love it. Nice transition back from Compton Kahler.
Hey!
See, Compton Kahler subtly slowing up speed there, and you can see it's not the best play for them. Went for a touch drive down the line. Difficult shot, too.
You see
30,
the
15 or
umpire
40,
holding on
30?
to his hat pad up there in the wind. And shielding the sun.
Great
He's
lob
having a
and
hard time.
great move by Grangeiro. Beautiful. That's good paddle right there. That's what we're going to need to see more of, that down the line lob, moving player out of position. That was dangerous drive with the Grangeiro right on the net. Slowly but surely, this pace is getting more in Grangeiro Wilkinson's favor. If they could, like I said, get through a couple of games here. There you go, Compton and Kahler back to the slowing it down.
Wow. Solid volleys from Wilkinson.
Great volley. There you go. Nice. Here we go.
Kahler serving up 4-3, second set.
Just missed.
George was feeling it there. Made a great play. Just missed.
Just a tad wide.
Just a tad wide. Wilkinson thought it caught. So he's a little, I don't know if he's upset at the call, but called wide and confirmed by the umpire. So game point for Compton Kahler. He's thrown in a few faults, Kahler. Normally pretty reliable server. So that's deuce. I feel like Wilkinson's amping up his intensity. I think he feels like there's a moment here. Great backhand. And then a miss from Compton on the transition drive back. All right, another break point. This is their 5th break point in the last few games. They had break points the last 3 service games. Have not capitalized. Grangeiro pushed her, had no confidence in the return, but Kahler bails him out, and it's 4-all. So hanging around. Love it.
And credit, I feel the intensity you were spot on about. Wilkinson, all of a sudden, I was hoping that either Marco or George, one of them could elevate their level of play, and I think we feel that intensity right now from both players. And
All right, Wilkinson serving here.
Wilkinson's looking for more, I think.
But they have to know this is a moment. We're seeing misses out of Compton Kahler, a couple of looser shots, not completely tight all the time. Yeah, and they're getting a few, and this is it's kind of a now or never type of thing for them. They lost the first set 6-2. The other team playing so solid, and they're getting their looks now, Patty. They're up their intensity now and tighten it up. And that's one of the things that Grangeiro and Wilkinson used to do so well at crucial moments in a match.
Hey, right there, that shot that Compton just, came up on a ball that was kind of low, below level of net, went up on Marco, sensed that Marco was backing off the net. And to me, that's what I'm talking about out of Compton. I see real disciplined shot making and really smart shot making.
Oh! Dake didn't have the easy put away. Smiling about that miss. Yeah, nothing else you can do. That's unfortunate, but this is where, again, it's a break for Grangeiro and Wilkinson. They've had a few. They got to now just capitalize.
Really good deep serve from Wilkinson right there. see a lot of those overheads where the players let the ball drop a little bit, Brad. They kind of arc it and loft it out off their paddle, hit the ball deep, and it takes away the offensive opportunities for the baseline team.
Yeah, so you see them, right. They're taking the air out of the ball, Grangeiro, Wilkinson. And that's forcing Compton and Kahler to add their own power. Now it's just a grind. But it's not a dumb play, it's a smart play. So they're going to high up push overheads. Now if a team starts going to those types of overheads, what could the backcourt team do, counter that a little bit, Patty?
Well, depending on the depth. I mean, the depth has been pretty solid out of Marco and George here. Sometimes teams can look to move in, take a ball out of the air.
Yeah.
Sort of force pace out of the other team.
Right, throw a blitz move in from time to time.
But club-level players, Brad, Connecticut, New Jersey, tri-state, around the country, the net teams hit their overheads so much harder than the top players generally, where the top players will take the air out of the ball, like you say, and they don't want to work so hard and put so much into overheads that, make them have to adjust their positioning. So these guys hit them to get rid of the offensive opportunities and also to negate their, shifting. They don't have to shift as much.
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate key and lesson is you can use your overheads to change the pace of play, however you want it to be. Sometimes teams will speed it up on purpose, with an overhead because they want to play a faster pace. 30 all.
Kahler's gone flat the last couple of games.
Well, they've sort of taken him out of it. I haven't seen him hit a high forehand. I haven't seen him hit a drive in about, 2-3 games. I mean, maybe one.
They were giving him a couple early in the match.
He
made him pay.
a drive in the game before, and I haven't seen him hit one since. And they're definitely hitting more balls to Compton anyway. They're going at Compton now, just pushing it deep, hanging in there. They're going to make Compton probably beat him. Smart. The two are yelling.
You can see by playing Compton in that ad court, George and Marco have a comfort zone with defending the net on the next play.
Right.
When it goes over to Kahler, he's masterful at exploiting some of the openings that occur.
From Compton. Well done by both teams. Still going. Great move. Good back and forth point there. Really solid.
I just feel like when Grangeiro hits his overheads, you don't see the hard side back into that ad corner enough, Brad. And so he can't really open up that court. I feel like Compton is just really calm playing all of his shots. I would love to see Grangeiro make him work a little bit more over in there with his overheads.
That's a surprise. Good look there for Compton. He totally airmailed it into the back screen. I think he lost his feet underneath him. Completely lost his balance.
Wilkinson serving for all. Second set. 68th annual Short Hills Invitational event. First round action in the elite field, 16 of the top teams in the country.
Head out.
I
Wow, what a
tells me
lob.
it's gone, but it's gone on the line is what it has. And great lob. Yeah, this is a real battle now. You know, it's so funny. The first match we called, I believe they were a set and a break, and there's been like 3-love or 4-1 over here. You can see just the length of the points. Oh, he goes lefty. Great shot by Wilkinson off the top of the net. Takes a risk, gets the reward with the let cord.
I like it. He'd thrown so many lobs up after that shot. Just finally let one hit that back screen. Threw in a low drive. Got a lucky let cord.
All right, back to deuce.
Advantage Compton.
Grangeiro's a good offensive volleyer, but he's missed a couple here today. That was a good return, though, from Kahler. Again, you hear that wind howling up there. It's got to be, you know, in the low teens with the wind chill, I think, out there, Patty.
Yep. Second break point for Compton Kahler in this game against George Wilkinson serve. Oh. And that was the shot.
Break.
They gave Kahler that high shot. That's his favorite shot to hit, that high forehand
It is.
drive, and paid the price. Missed a volley right into the net. We're at 5-4, second set.
You know, Patty, that I'm just going to our weather app here, and it says it feels like 18 degrees out there. It's not, so it's cold. It's 27 degrees temperature-wise. Only it feels like 18. I guess with the sunshine, I mean, it is an absolutely beautiful day out there. You know, but with the sunshine, it's not too bad. So
all right, so Brian Compton has the opportunity here to serve out the match and get into the quarterfinals. Winner of this match plays
what a play
Broderick
by
or McNerney.
Compton. One times the backhand. Wilkinson came in, and Compton drove it at him twice. Stuck it. Yeah, sorry, Patty, I was talking over it. So who do these players
well, you got so excited about that play, and that's
I did.
why, you know, I appreciate that in you and an announcer, Brad. I was just talking that the winner plays Broderick and McNerney of this match.
It's a great low overhead from Wilkinson.
That's a great. He had the lobbing lane.
15 all.
Now, what do you mean by the lobbing lane, Patty?
The guy from the baseline, I felt like he's glued into the spot. He's trying to lob in between the two net players, give them a choice of who's got to play the shot. Less than ideal for either of them. And so I'm a big fan when people try to hit into those lobbing lanes.
All right, so we got another score. Orion Parsons won in a 3-set battle over Cosmato Kraft. 3-6. They lost the first set, 6-3, 6-4. So they got taken out in the first and then righted the ship there, so congratulations to them. So that matchup's going to be Orion Parsons against Durant Mitchell on the bottom of the draw. And then it looks like Burish and Stojsavljevic, although we have no report on Bredberg Hughes versus Frazier and Morgan. So, the bottom of our drawer.
You know, the Kahler forehand kind of got taken out of play. It's come back.
Yep. There you go. Compton speeding up the action there. goes for the crease. He's going right onto the nick. Grangeiro, see if he can find that spot where the ball's going to rebound in a different direction. Compton looks for it.
15-30.
But it's a look, again, not followed by a good lob beforehand. That's where their good and best points have been played. He's speeding it up a little, Compton, going fast overhead. And the point before. And you can see the percentage is lower the more they do that. All right, 15-40 for Grangeiro Wilkinson. You hear Compton saying nobody. What he means there is that it's a high lob and the other team might blitz. So he yells nobody to let his partner know that he could hit a soft push overhead if he wants. Really any type of overhead.
Great move in there.
That's it, recognizing the moment. Great play from Grangeiro.
So 4-2 to 5-all. Now we're in a battle, Brad.
Oh no, there have been plenty of opportunities here for Grangeiro and Wilkinson. I mean, Compton Kahler have definitely, started to leak out their strategy a little bit. Started to play a few faster points, thrown in a few faults. There have been, some opportunities for them. They just haven't taken advantage. But they've gotten the last two. And see, here's, more and more of these. They just got to keep playing the big points better. It's such a good look, but not the best choice of a drive from Wilkinson. On his weight on his heels and Kahler right on top of the net. Got to lob Kahler off there. Yeah, I think Wilkinson knows it, shaking his head a little there.
Another good lob there.
Yeah, that ball was good. Yeah, that touched the back of the line. 130.
Overrule the umpire there. Crucial moment.
So an out call with an overrule.
It's got to be their point.
So it's love 30, I believe.
It's their point.
I'm not
Grangeiro
sure.
serving. Marcos stayed back on both serves so far in this game, Brad.
Yeah, Grangeiro has a great volley, but the serve can be spotty. So he'll, and he's had some moments.
Stay back. He'll just serve and stay back, take the pressure off his having to hit a better serve, I would say.
But that's where Compton drives that big backhand.
And
if
that's
you
the
set
risk.
that thing up, that's the risk.
The more you juice it, the more you create an ability for a player as athletic as Compton to come up with something.
No, he's got a great two-handed backhand. It's a really good shot.
I think it's 30-40 Brad in this game. Wow.
There you go. I think that was actually,
Compton
well, there's the
Kahler.
break again.
Made 6 games to
And
5. Second set.
now we're going to have Kahler serving for the second set, for the match, basically.
That was a pretty fast game for Grangeiro Wilkinson. Just too fast. And kind of a misstep there that they went back, called that ball out, umpired match. Umpire saw the ball hitting part of the line, made the overrule. That was
Yeah,
a big
it's-
point.
It's
Kind of a
great.
deflator of your momentum big time.
Yeah, see if they can get it back. Compton Kahler haven't closed yet. They've
They're
had
struggling
plenty of,
with the close.
Ooh, that'll help.
15 left.
And I only mean we know closing off matches is the most difficult thing to do. And, they've been ahead incrementally this whole second set and really trying to serve it out so they can move on here.
for it. He does, but they're both right there. Ah, two missed forehands from Wilkinson. See again, Patty, I really just think that George Wilkinson's like just a half step slower than he used to be, and that's why he's missing more of these.
Aren't we all, Brad?
No, I'm much more than a half step
I've
slower,
got like
Patty.
4
I mean,
steps slower.
I don't even know what you're talking about, half step. Talking about 3 steps slower. Ah, just a great shot, and that gives us triple match point for Compton and Kahler. Oh, he tags it with a huge overhead. And Kahler is right there, literally an inch from the net, but can't react in time. People in the chat room rooting for Brian Compton. BC, they call him.
40, 30.
All right, match point number 3. This is where Grangeiro and Wilkinson in the past have played really tight, good points, looking for the right opportunity. Oh, mistake from Grangeiro, looking for the cutoff, and that is game, set, match
7-5.
for Compton and Kahler, 6-2, 7-5. Few opportunities there for Grangeiro and Wilkinson, Patty. Well, it was a pleasure calling that with you, Patty. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the men's quarterfinal of Erdoya and Morneau versus Rose and Rose with the umpire Mark Connolly. Patty, we'll see you on the next one.
You bet. Thanks, Brad.